think so, yeah. But I thought that was very interesting that the coronavirus is pretty much just the last nail in the coffin for Hellboy.
That's so cool.
So it infected Hellboy as well.
Wow. I'm glad you didn't tell me that because that's very interesting.
It's pretty big, isn't it?
It's cool.
Yeah, because I think China don't want people being in large groups at the moment.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, like, they don't want people going to the cinema.
Okay.
Even though you probably could have released Hellboy and there wouldn't be big groups anyway.
Hellboy's like, mate, put it on DVD, quick as possible.
Yeah,
get it out there.
Get it out there, please.
Get it out there, please. We need the money. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 35.
35.
Straight to series 35 going live. My name is Connor.
I'm in.
And yeah, welcome. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube.
You can see our pretty faces.
If you want to see our pretty faces and see the crazy hand gestures we do on every show.
So many
different things that could be happening on screen.
I'm doing so many hand gestures
all you audio
right
listeners, you're losing out on what is going on right now. Yeah. So,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well.
Do you know what's weird? I was thinking about this today. We're approaching 50 episodes. Like, there's 15 away from 50.
Scary.
It is scary.
I've grown as a person.
Me too. I've grown as a person.
My many tumors have grown.
Me too. Yeah, I'm on the slow crawl towards death, and I'm definitely a lot closer now than when I was when we started.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know whether I'm skinnier. My weight is definitely...
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, me neither. I've definitely fluctuated.
You were Big Mama's house, then you were Normal Mama's house.
Yeah.
Now you're like medium.
Now I'm like Bad Boys 2 Lawrence, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at Bad Boys 2.
To be honest, I'm catching up with you.
No, you're back.
All the stress eating from the podcast. What the fuck am I going to say this episode?
That's the thing. You have to listen to it every time, like, editing it, so...
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
Yeah.
Please don't be racist. Please don't be sexist.
Ooh.
Please don't be homophobic. Ooh. Oh, I take all those boxes.
We did all three. It's all in good fun. We don't really mean it, do we?
I hope not.
I hope not.
I hope not.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, of the 50 episode, like, do you think we could say that more than half of them are good quality? Like, by the time we reach 50, yeah?
Yeah, I think we've been on a roll.
Yeah, I think so too.
We've been on a serious roll.
Yeah, I would definitely.
This roll's got butter on it now.
Totally, we've buttered our roll.
We've buttered that roll.
We're buttering ourselves up right now.
Oh, I'm getting so
buttered up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it.
Anyway,
we're moving into box office as we always do.
Hell yeah, let's take yes.
Oh no, sorry. You continue. Let's take a
trip down box office lane.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't know what I was going with.
Cut you across on that. You
Let's take a trip down box office lane.
You clearly didn't want to finish it, which is why you gave it to me. But then no, finish your thought.
And you're like, I regret asking you to finish that thought.
I was like, ugh. I was just gonna say, caw. Birds of Prey comes in with a shocking.
And I thought that my transition was bad. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Birds of Prey. Well, it's opening this weekend.
It's opening this weekend, but already it's kind of doing well.
And I'm shocked.
Caw.
Please stop.
Oh, sorry.
So, yeah, Birds of Prey opens this weekend. So I guess Martin Lawrence and Will Smith will be knocked off the top because you know they had 3 weekends at number 1.
Crazy.
And do you know what? It's not even a mega hit. Like, I'm talking about Bad Boys for Life. It's not like a mega hit.
No.
It's just like a slow burning hit.
Yeah.
But there's just no competition.
It's funny. It's one of those movies where everyone I speak to is like, oh yeah, I want to see that. You know?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's just pulling on those nostalgic strings, I guess.
Totally.
Which is what a lot of movies and studios and TV series and Netflix are cashing in on that.
That's what they have to do. I mean, that's why...
Revival?
Revival? I'm sorry.
The Office? Revival?
Arrested Development?
24?
Do you want it again? 24?
Revival?
I can't wait for Daredevil revival and Punisher revival.
Yeah, see, they don't it's so early on.
Yeah,
Can they revive that right now?
John Bernthal's in a wheelchair when they're the time they revive it.
And he's still like, I'll do all my own stunts.
Yeah,
I'll break both hands.
Dude, he's fucking...
Just give me the chance.
He's great.
Just give me the goddamn chance.
Love me some John Bernthal. He's not in enough things now. Grunt. That's John Bernthal. That's my Punisher impression.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to Box Office Lane for a minute.
Come on. He does that
Gay,
as well.
come on. Before he knocks out a woman.
Yeah, and it's like it's the bottom jaw. His top.
The Neanderthal look in him.
His top lip doesn't move. It's the bottom jaw. Blood is pouring. He's all brute. Come on. Hit me
Such a
again.
brute.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Can we get another season of that, please?
Please.
In the MCU.
Please.
I want to see the Punisher fight.
On Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So we even got those extra dollar bills.
I want to see the Punisher fight someone ridiculous in the MCU. Like, I want to see him take on
Thanos. He's like, come on.
Come on, hit
Thanos
me.
is like, mate, you've had enough.
You've had enough, man.
I actually don't want to do it. It's not fun anymore.
I want to see.
I keep breaking your neck and you
keep
walk
coming.
it off.
Keep coming. I want to see him. I want to see him fight Spider-Man.
He's just a puddle. Come on.
You know, there was a thing.
This is the round where I win.
Yeah, this is I'm still kicking it. In the 80s, the Punisher had built this machine, and it would just hit him in the stomach with a baseball bat, and that was the whole thing. Because the idea was that if a criminal surprised him and hit him with a baseball bat, he wouldn't.
He'd be okay.
He wouldn't flinch. It wasn't so that he It wasn't so that he could take it. Obviously, it was conditioning, but it was the idea that he wouldn't flinch, so that if he got shot or got hit, he wouldn't flinch.
His sex life must have been a deep dark place.
Well, there's a famous thing where like Wolverine suggests that the Punisher was looking at like male fitness magazines for like sexual gratification.
Oh, he's
or whatever.
a power mega bottom.
Yeah, he totally is. He takes a lot of punishment, but he produces all the energy. He produces all the energy.
Anyway,
yeah, what were we talking about?
We're talking about the box office.
Oh yeah, Birds of Prey is doing surprisingly well. It's sitting at
critically, it's doing surprisingly well. It opens now this Friday. We're actually recording this on Friday, so it opens tonight.
There's a bit of inside Hollywood for you there.
We might have a review next week.
Potentially.
I hope so.
One of us will have seen it.
I am unsure if it's going to do well. I'm actually really intrigued now because
Me too.
The critics seem to like it, so
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued to see how well it does.
I remember Batman v Superman sitting at a higher score than it should have when it originally came out, though.
It was on around 60%, and then it just dropped to like
plummeted,
high 20s or something like that.
Like I feel like Birds of Prey would probably settle around the 70s.
Yeah. I think even high 70s maybe.
Yeah.
It's on 83% now, but it's got 215 reviews.
So like a 77, 78.
Yeah, and I love how Rotten Tomatoes now have the verified rating.
Yeah.
So if you're just a normal person, an audience member that wants to score it, you have to. I don't know what the process is.
Yeah.
I've never tried it myself.
We should verify. Could we get a critics rating?
It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I want to be one of the main ones, though.
Yeah, I want to be. Yeah, me too. I want to be the one they feature my comment every time.
And we have to do a collective one.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of balance it out. So if you love it and I hate it, we have to give it like a 2.5 to 3 star.
I write the first line, you write the second line, I write the third line. That's how we do it every time.
Who wrote this?
Yeah, it's just complete.
They have problems.
Complete jarbled up mess,
Yeah.
Indecipherable.
Schizophrenic.
Yeah, no one knows really what our thoughts are in the end of it. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of excited now for it.
I'm actually just more intrigued to see can Harley Quinn man her own ship?
Yeah, I mean, what I've heard is if there was a Harley Quinn movie, this is it.
Yeah.
So, but I still, I really hope it's not a Deadpool movie. That's my big hope.
Yeah, no, totally. I want it to be its own thing.
Yeah, me too.
Stand on its own legs.
Yeah, and I don't want to feel terrible for being a man while watching it. Because
I know that feeling.
Yeah,
I know that feeling. Don't guilt me. Like, I want this movie to be good. Don't shame me.
In some movies,
please don't shame me.
In some movies, like, it's okay. Like in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, it's like, oh man,
this dude is not one of us. Okay?
Yeah. It's like he's not one.
This guy's bad.
This guy's bad, but it's
I endorse none of this.
I feel bad for being just existing now. When you watch that, but like, I don't. In a Harley Quinn movie, I don't want to be guilted.
Totally.
Yeah.
Where I thought Wonder Woman did it really well. Like, they made the whole thing of like, no man can go past no man's land. And
no man's
but
land.
She's no man.
She's no ordinary man. Do you know? People like, there was an announcement that Wonder Woman was like bisexual or something, and it's like people were like, "What? Wonder Woman bisexual?" I was like, in the 60s, her origin was, or 40s, I should say, her origin was she lived on an island with only women. Yeah. Of course.
You got to entertain yourself some way.
Yeah, and I'm sure they were getting up to plenty of entertaining things.
Many Scissor Sisters.
Many Scissor Sisters. In fact, Wonder Woman was weird because she was the only birth. That was the thing about her.
Yeah.
So,
So someone got some vitamin D somewhere.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think now continuity. She's Zeus's daughter, so it was Zeus who got some vitamin D.
Right, yeah.
But before,
he dished out the vitamin D
before she was sculpted out of clay. That was her original.
Okay.
But they recently retconned it, and it was like, oh yeah, her mom said she was sculpted out of clay, but really Zeus, threw her a bone. But yeah,
5 minutes in Pleasure Town.
Hey.
Anyway, here I just want to talk about box office for a second because there was a big record made.
Oh, okay. Oh yes,
there's a new record set. The rhythm section. Anyone hear of that? No.
Yes.
Well, clearly they didn't hear of it because no one attended. So Blake Lively has a new movie, which was partly filmed in Ireland.
Yeah.
You even had an almost connection to it.
A slight connection. Someone I know was almost going to be her stunt double for the movie.
So she's obviously extremely attractive.
Yes.
To be Blake Lively's stunt double.
Yep.
Ryan Reynolds' wife's stunt double.
Ryan Reynolds.
I love how we just connected then to Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds' wife's stunt
Ryan
double.
Reynolds' stunt double.
Yeah.
So the rhythm section came out in America, and blink and you'd miss it because it set a record for the lowest box office opening for a movie that opened in over 3,000 locations.
Jesus.
It made 2.8 million.
That's
over
shit.
the entire weekend. That's a bad record to have on your CV.
And it's not reviewed very well either.
No, it's not. So imagine like Blake Lively trying to get like a big role, and they're like, "Oh, let's check out her last hit."
Is it even up there? I don't even think opening would it be there.
See, it's not in the top 10 anymore already, and it came out last weekend.
Bad Boys for Life is sitting at a 77%. I feel like that's
77%. That's really it's not a bad movie though.
No,
it's very likable.
would you say 77%?
I don't know, because that's not how Rotten Tomatoes works.
I know
a lot of people think it works that way.
No, yeah, it doesn't.
Like, oh, that's like a 3.5 star out of 5 or whatever. Like they kind of make those calculations. Almost a 4-star review. So 77% of critics gave it 3 stars or more. That's what that means, and I think it's fair enough.
Yeah.
See, like if you go by how, like technically you could have a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and everyone just thinks it's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm sure there is some movies like that where it's hard to dislike it.
Yeah.
But it's not great.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you have like a really charismatic actor or something like that, where you're like, Jesus, so likable, even though it's kind of okay.
iRobot.
Yo, Vin Diesel. Just in general.
Just in general, yeah.
So here, anyway, rhythm section is set a record, which is it's so bad.
I'm sorry, Blake. You deserve better.
She kind of does, but hey, if the movie's terrible, it's just
She's a great actor.
Yeah, that's just a miserable record to have.
But I mean, she was in Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, and
the only good thing that came out of that was their union,
and they turned it around. Have you heard about their oh my god, I'm gonna get so gossip girl about this, but apparently the two of them, he was just coming out of a divorce and she was just coming out of like a long-term relationship, and they were trying to find people for each other to date. They were like, they double dated together, except on separate dates. And they were like, oh, you'd be good for this person, and they would set it up and they go on dates, and then they realized that let's make this happen. Do you think what happens is they saw a mirror and they saw the two of them together and they looked at each other and went, oh yeah, we're
the most attractive babies ever are going to come from us?
I don't know, man. Eva Mendes and Ryan Gosling.
Oh, that's a spicy one as well.
Emily Blunt, John Krasinski.
Stop. Yeah, there's many. Yeah. Okay.
There's going to be some hot Hollywood kids. Yeah. That's for sure.
Some genes, some DNA going on there.
Oh my god!
You're gonna live to like 250 or some shit.
In Ted 2 when he tries to get Peyton Manning's, is it Peyton Manning? Fuck, what's his name? No, it's not Peyton Manning. It's someone else.
Mark Wahlberg
and Ted try to steal your man's sperm.
Oh, Tom Brady,
that's it. Peyton Manning is another
like the only NFL star I know.
Yeah, Tom Brady,
because he's referenced in every movie and show that has anything to do with NFL.
Yeah, they try and steal his sperm, and I'm like, I totally get that.
Yeah, I totally.
Get that. That's a winner's sperm.
It's angel juice. Yeah. That's fucking angel juice.
I love when he throws Ted and then Mark Wahlberg catches him and Ted goes, "Did you see that? Yeah, perfect spiral."
Yeah, no, it's great.
What a great movie. Ted 2 isn't bad.
It's not great though.
No.
Ted 1 is fun. Mm-hmm. But here, I have some serious box office news.
Oh shit, you didn't tell me about this.
Yeah, the coronavirus has made China cancel so many big Hollywood releases.
Really?
And one is a big one. Doolittle has been cancelled indefinitely in China. Now, Dolittle is dying. Dolittle continues to do little business at the box office.
I see what you did
sorry.
there, and I appreciate it.
I apologize.
No, I loved it.
So 130 million it sits on right now. It cost 175 million to make.
It's like, at least China will get us out of it.
That's the thing. China loves Iron Man.
Mm-hmm. It does. China
It does.
Man, fucking hell.
It does indeed.
I hate myself. Why does every podcast, every box office turn into us making statements about the Chinese market?
No, it's about Connor making statements.
Us. We're in it together, Ian.
It does.
We either both say it or none of us say it.
True.
Yeah.
I take responsibility as well.
Okay, good.
I apologize for Connor.
There you are.
So yeah, Dolittle needed those China dollar bills.
It does.
Well, you know what? This is one of the ones where I feel like it will be released at some point. They just have to cancel it now. But I did write down that 1917 has been cancelled.
Oh.
Jojo Rabbit,
Oh.
Little Women, and here's one for this one goes back a while. Hellboy was supposed to be released in February. Now talk about a movie that needs some money.
Yeah.
And I know it most likely won't happen, but if China loved the shit out of that movie, it would at least balance the checkbook.
Have you seen BoJack Horseman?
No, I don't. It just ended, didn't it?
It ended, yeah. Man, I loved it. I loved BoJack Horseman. It's funny. I started.
Is there a connection to Hellboy?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me get through it. BoJack Horseman. It's surprisingly important for me because it started at a certain point in my life and now it's ended at a certain point in my life, and I feel like it's kind of.
Have you grown with it?
I've grown with it, and there's elements of the show that I really connect with. In like I didn't know at the time I connected with it.
Like
so
the horse
much.
stuff?
The horse stuff, yeah. All the horseplay in it.
Now I see a horse in myself.
Yeah. But anyway, Penguin Books is an actual thing, and it's run by a penguin in it.
I know. Patton Oswalt?
Yeah. And he's always like sweating because they're about to go out of business. I feel like he's the accountant for Hellboy. He's like, oh, but we're going to release in China.
Yeah, we got China.
And then and he's like, oh my God. Like in the first time you see Penguin, like a penguin is throwing himself off the roof in the show. And everything. Yeah. So I imagine that's what I imagine their accountant's doing.
I forgot that Hellboy existed.
Me too.
We gave it on our I think it was our last episode or our first episode of this year. We gave it the biggest box office bomb of 2019. Like it wasn't financially, it wasn't necessarily the biggest one, but it was one of the worst. But the fact that we had Joker, that was an R-rated movie that had so many similarities and was one of the biggest box office hits in the world for 2019, and then there you had Hellboy just died a death. It really needed China, and I just couldn't believe that it hasn't come out in China yet.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
didn't even think it would because it's an R-rated comic book movie.
Weird.
Because Deadpool doesn't get released there.
Yeah. Man.
So, actually, speaking of coronavirus, hasn't Vin Diesel been suffering from the coronavirus?
Damn it. I was about to make a fucking... I was going to say, I've never seen this many people obsessed with the corona since the last Fast and Furious movie. I was about to say that.
He's got a serious dose of the coronavirus forever.
Genuinely. You know the way I wanted you to stand up?
Yeah.
Earlier on, I thought of that joke and I wrote it down in my notes. The corona thing. Hang on.
We got some parallel thinking going on
I
here. Shit.
I got to find it now. Hang on. I'll see exactly what I wrote. I was like... Oh shit! I didn't actually write it. Damn it! I should have written it down. The last thing
now I'm questioning it.
I didn't. Yeah.
Have you heard about this? Have you read about this? The coronavirus?
Damn it! Should have.
Vin Diesel's been suffering from that for years.
That's not what I said. That was my joke was going to be I've never seen this many people obsessed with corona since the last Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I also said,
well, he's doing well for a guy who's been seriously suffering from the coronavirus.
Seriously suffering, yeah. And no one knows why they only drink Corona in Fast and Furious. Vin Diesel doesn't even like Corona that much.
Does he not?
No, and they don't have a sponsorship. So
are you serious? Well,
apparently not.
I'd have to look into that.
There was some video.
Surely they're paying for.
There was some video.
All his head waxing.
There was some video I watched, and it was like no one knows why they drink Corona in the Fast and Furious movies. I will send it to you later.
Okay.
But I haven't actually watched the video. But I read an article about it ages ago. But stuff gets jumbled up in my head all the time.
Okay, sure.
I didn't know Jonah Hill's name last episode.
Oh, that was miserable.
That was miserable. I died of death when I couldn't think of his name.
Well, there we go. The coronavirus has cancelled many China releases.
Yeah.
Dolittle and Hellboy, though, are the ones that, like, 1917 has made its money already. It's doing really well. Jojo Rabbit is a movie that doesn't even need to make that much. It's a very small release. Little Women only surpassed 100 million domestically.
Yeah.
So it's doing quite well. Just in America alone, it made 100 million. Hellboy needed this. Like, it really did. And China is that kind of... It's just... They have a strange audience who are just like, hey, no one liked that, but we love it. Like, Pacific Rim got a sequel because of China. It completely bailed them out.
Oh, totally.
And I think it was Warcraft. Now, that didn't get a sequel, but it balanced the checkbook. They were kind of like, okay, we can write that off. That experiment didn't work.
Yeah.
But thank you, China. You saved our ass.
Yeah.
Moving on. You know, where with Hellboy, can you imagine they're like, hey, if we made 50 million, it would it probably still wouldn't, but it'd be pretty close.
China is like, for big companies, it's like, you know, on a night out, you have this friend and you're kind of close to, and then you end up like sleeping together the next day. And China's like, you know, you wake up the next morning and China's with the studio and it's like, look, I mean, we both know that wasn't a good idea, but, you know, I had a good time, you had a good time.
We don't need to talk about it.
We don't need to talk about it anymore. We'll just go.
It happens.
That's what China is to movie studios, whereas Hellboy is outside. China,
please.
China's like, oh, I'm real sick right now.
Actually, if any Lionsgate release Hellboy, they're like funneling all their money into curing the coronavirus right now.
Let's try and get
They're knocking on Vin Diesel's door. What's your secret?
By the way, we had a whole talk before this show about getting padding for the mics, because when we pound on the table,
and then you're like,
and then I'm just slamming on the table there. I thought of that as I was doing it, but whatever happens.
You're
I
too
apologize.
deep, you can't stop.
I'm too deep, I can't stop. I'm sorry, too deep, can't stop. She's like, you're barely in. I'm like, too deep, can't stop.
Too deep,
too deep,
can't do it.
Already there.
But anyway, I think that's...
No take backs. You think that's all the box office news?
I think so, yeah. But I thought that was very interesting that the coronavirus is pretty much just the last nail in the coffin for Hellboy.
That's so cool.
So it infected Hellboy as well.
Wow. I'm glad you didn't tell me that, because that's very interesting.
It's pretty big, isn't it?
It's cool.
Yeah, because I think China don't want people being in large groups at the moment.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, like, they don't want people going to the cinema.
Okay.
Even though you probably could have released Hellboy and there wouldn't be big groups anyway.
Hellboy's like, mate, put it on DVD, quick as possible.
Yeah,
get it out there.
Get it out there, please.
Get it out there, please. We need the money. Anyway, speaking of stuff we need to get onto and get out there, let's get our reviews out there.
Hell yeah.
And talking about, like, intense, action-packed, we're talking about Uncut Gems, baby.
Which is an absolute gem of a movie.
Oh!
Now, we only got this, by the way. So it's a Netflix movie almost worldwide except for America. I was reading about this.
Yeah, do the Safdies have an agreement with Netflix? Because the Good Time is on there. And
Good Time, but I don't think Good Time came out on Netflix. It just, like, obviously you have to deal with it now. Where I have a feeling it's because of Adam Sandler. Because Netflix love Adam Sandler.
He's that huge.
Can't stop sucking his dick.
Yeah, they really can't.
They really can't. And hey, supposedly he's like the highest viewed star on Netflix.
Well, David Spade made the joke in his show where he was like, "Oh yeah, Sandler's snubbed on his snubbed by the Oscars. I guess he can just rest on his $60 million deal with Netflix." You know?
Yeah, exactly. His bed of money.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, what a fucking movie! Adam Sandler's best performance by far.
Knocks it out of the park.
I forget it's Adam Sandler in the first 5 minutes.
It's crazy. He looks so different, but it's so Adam Sandler. It's weird. The fake teeth. Yeah. The mole.
The mole.
He's got a fake mole.
It's the hair.
The hair. Well. His clothes. His clothes are so weird because you're so used to him in his baggy Lakers kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Lakers, but he's always got a basketball shirt on or something, like cargo pants.
Yeah. But then, like, he even puts on an accent, but it's like the slightest, like, he just talks kind of more up in his nose, kind of like this.
He's a New York Jew.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like, even in interviews, he's like, hey, neurotic Jew, that wasn't too difficult. That wasn't much of a stretch for me artistically, you know?
I think he says, again, in a David Spade thing, he's like, my characters don't always start off as Jews, but midway through, they'll be like, yeah, we're going to make him a Jew.
We have to.
Yeah. But
you've already done it anyway.
I mean, the things about this movie that I love are the performances, the camera work. It's like
the cinematography.
Cinematography is amazing. The direction, the script, the intensity, all the Jewish culture stuff. I love getting like it's fun enough. Like the diamond market in New York is something I never knew I wanted to see a movie about.
I know, isn't it weird? Because you're just like, oh, that sounds like the most boring thing ever, and then you see how all the hustling that's going on in the background, the sell kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and it's a movie about gambling addiction as well.
Totally.
If you watch the trailer, it's kind of hard to know what it's about.
Yeah.
And you know what, like, it's a frantic, chaotic movie, but it very much has like a true line of like what it's about. It's a man that's suffering from gambling addiction who's also a jeweler.
Yeah.
Like, that's essentially what it's about. But like, there's just so many things going on.
It's such a typical, like, his life is falling apart around him and you don't even really know it, you know?
If you suffer from anxiety, do not watch this movie. This is anxiety inducing. Like, it's hell for someone like that, because I was stressed watching it. It was a stress watch.
It was stressful, but I'd watch it again in a heartbeat.
I know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Because once it ended, I was like, I need to experience that again.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But the stress means it's truly affecting you.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're in the movie, you're experiencing it with him.
And like Kevin Garnett, an actual basketball player, puts in a pretty charismatic, realistic performance, which
There's many actors in this who are not actors. They're
The Weeknd.
people. Yeah.
The Weeknd plays himself in it.
And he's great.
He is great. Yeah.
But there's many people who are just not actors, and it really works.
And you know what? Even in this movie, it acknowledges what I've said forever, and is that The Weeknd gets the ladies wet. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The ladies love The Weeknd, and The Weeknd loves the ladies.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And you've always said that.
You know,
I've always said that. It's like your mantra.
It is my
mantra. Don't you have a tattoo of that on your chest?
No, my arse.
Oh, on
is
your
where
arse,
I have that
course,
one.
Yeah.
On my chest I have the world is not enough.
The world is not enough.
Yeah, it's my family motto. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, I'll never reference that again. But yeah, The Weeknd, and like, even when he's in the club and he's like, where's my fucking neon light? He's like, I ain't performing until you put on that fucking neon light. Yeah. And then like he puts it on and it's like, oh, that was worth it.
That was worth it.
And then Adam Sandler's teeth in the
Adam
light.
Sandler's teeth are fantastic.
They are fantastic.
This I can't believe how good he is in this. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
and I know, I seen in an interview with him. I think it was like Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Kimmel is like, are you sick of people being so surprised at your great performance? And this is the thing you said about his Oscar snub.
Yeah.
That you read that the rumor was that the reason why he was snubbed is because he was so, I don't know, confident about the whole thing. And when you watch him on Jimmy Kimmel, he actually seems really reserved, and he's just like, oh no, man, like, I'm just happy to be associated with such a great piece of art, you know. And I read a conflicting rumor that, and I would believe this as well, like, is that it's his consistency. It's not there.
Totally.
Like, the people that vote, the Academy, the voters don't like that he'll make absolute dog shit and then make this great, like he did with the Meyerowitz stories.
Yeah, but
he's fantastic. But then he goes and makes a bunch of, like, you know, below par comedy movies.
But I mean, that's just complete bullshit as well. Because,
I know, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, because Leonardo DiCaprio puts out a winning movie every fucking year, and he didn't win it until The Revenant.
Exactly.
So, like, and then
he gets nominated, but
he gets nominated all the time. Even the guy who directs The Big Short and everything, what's his name?
Adam McKay.
Adam McKay. He was doing comedies before he ever did anything.
And then he did The Big Short, and instantly he got like, they gave him gratification. That's not what I'm looking for. Notoriety?
No. That's negative. Notoriety is normally negative. Yeah, instant gratification isn't a bad way of putting it. Yeah. I'll think of the word in a minute. Yeah.
Well, they applauded him.
They applauded him. They awarded him for it.
Yeah. They nominated him.
Yeah, and then but now
that's a good comparison, because, like, come on, like, Anchorman 2.
Yeah.
You know, like, Anchorman 1 I absolutely love, but Anchorman 2 is a bit more fart jokes.
Yeah, but here's
than social commentary.
Yeah, but
and
like,
then he makes The Big Short, and, like, instantly, like, the Academy are like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just bullshit. Like, for that reasoning to be like, oh, but he makes terrible movies all the time. It's like, he put in a stellar performance in a movie, and for you to say it's his consistency is the reason you're not nominating him is just bullshit. Just say you don't want to nominate him.
You're not nominating him because of his decade of work.
You're not nominating him because you don't like it at the end of the day. Don't, like, these people in the Academy are like, oh, a lot of thought goes into our decision. At the end of the day, it's opinion. You know?
It is opinion, and it's subjective.
It's opinion, and it's subjective. And if someone comes up to you and they're like, "Oh, why didn't you nominate him?" It's be like, I didn't want to.
I didn't want.
Yeah, I didn't like his performance. I preferred the other ones I nominated. Sue me. You know?
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing. Like, people don't have the balls anymore to just be like, "Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion." So
I know. Yeah. It has to be about race, sex, or it's everything.
It has to be about something else.
Sexuality.
Yeah. It's like, look, I get to vote on these things, so I get to express my opinion on it. I think about the movies I liked and everything, and I like these movies and I didn't like these movies.
Kind of like what Stephen King said.
Yeah, basically. But, you know, he's a racist misogynist or whatever they accused him of now.
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? He wrote a sex scene, an orgy scene about a 14-year-old, so, you know, he can't be the best guy. I've read that
Moving
scene.
right along.
I've read that scene now.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's weird. Fucking weird. I was reading it and I was like, Jesus Christ, Stephen, you really were on coke this whole time.
Jesus. Yeah. He's got a coke face.
He
You're
does.
like, oh, he was a cokehead.
It's all gone down. His nose is like
his
super
nose.
thin.
You're like, look at those nostrils.
Yeah.
They're suspect.
They've been sucked in from all the cocaine he's done. Yeah.
Big time. You
Yeah.
just look at him, you're like, yeah, he's dabbled.
You've obviously heard Joey Diaz talk about coke, and he talks about like picking his nose all the time because sometimes he'd find a coke rock in there that you could snort again. It's like,
I'm always sniffing when I come out of a bathroom, and then I'm like, oh, Jesus, it looks bad. You know, you're like,
yeah.
I just naturally do that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. It's just some reason you come out. Yeah.
I know.
Even whenever if I'm out on a night out and I walk around and I have to go, at some stage I'm like, oh fuck, everyone's gonna think I did cocaine.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I don't know why. It just runs through my mind.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I do that thing as well. Where I'm like, oh shit, everyone just thinks that now.
oh my god, we're so similar.
But anyway, yeah, Uncut Gems though, it's so good.
You watched the scene breakdown of it, so you have a bit more insight in it. If you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, well, the fact that Adam Sandler just improvises so much, like there's so much dialogue in this, and half of it's not on the page.
Yeah,
and he's just like riffing, boom, 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 boom.
According to the Safdies.
And like he's off his leash, you know. He's just like, they love Adam Sandler. They wrote this movie for him 10 years ago.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And he never even read it. His agent, he didn't even know if his agent read it, but either way he declined. Maybe the agent just seen what it was about and was like, this is not what Adam's doing right now. He's got Mr. Deeds on the cards. He can't be doing this. And, you know, it was after Good Time came out. And they became the directors, you know, the cool kids on the block. And then the same agent heard, oh, the Safdies want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And he didn't even know, like Sandler didn't even know who they were. And it was the agent who was like, yeah, you should probably talk to these guys. So they wrote the script 10 years ago for Adam Sandler. I
love it.
And they were going to make it with Jonah Hill. And when you picture if you look at Adam Sandler in this movie with the fake teeth, he's got the curly hair, he's got the glasses, all I see is Jonah Hill in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Or a mix with War Dogs.
Yeah. The personality of War Dogs, maybe.
Yeah.
With a mix of the Wolf of Wall Street, but the look of Wolf of Wall Street.
Totally. We should say it's Josh and Benny Safdie.
Yeah.
Those are the names. And Benny Safdie, in Good Time, he was the guy who was playing the Down syndrome guy.
Yeah.
And right after watching Uncut Gems, I went straight over and watched Good Time again. And I don't know which one I prefer. I really don't.
Really, I have to watch Good Time again, and I had the same thing. The minute it ended, I was like, I need to watch Good Time.
Yeah.
The score as well is so original. It's the same guy who does both movies, and it's unlike anything. The direction, the cinematography, it's almost like a documentary style.
Yeah.
I feel like it's... To me, it's not like this at all. It's all really finely scheduled, but it feels like guerrilla shooting.
Yeah.
You know that way, like, oh, I got an idea for a scene. Start rolling. It doesn't matter because the cameras are all like handheld.
Yeah.
But the scene breakdown that I watched, right, was when this is not really a spoiler alert. It's about an uncut gem. Like that's what it's about. What's it called? An
Opal.
Opal. And he's trying to sell it to KG, the famous NBA
Kevin
star.
Garnett.
And it's about him selling it to him in the jewelry store, and he's like, "Oh, look at this, man! Look at this!"
But he's selling it, and he's not trying to sell it.
Yeah, he is. But so Adam Sandler, like he trailed an actual jeweler in New York City for a few weeks, and he got so much inspiration. And like he even talked about how the jeweler had his normal voice, and then he had his seller's voice, his hustling voice. And Adam Sandler was trying to emulate the same thing. He had a bit of a rhythm to him when he's talking about, oh yeah, here's the opal, you know. And can you remember the glass smashes, it shatters? So KG, the NBA star, he keeps leaning on the glass cases where all the jewelry is on display, and Adam Sandler's character keeps saying, "Don't lean on the glass. Don't lean on the glass."
That was a Chekhov's gun I didn't see coming.
But you know, one of the Safdie brothers, the special effects guy, gave him the trigger for the glass smash. So one of the directors, it's the two brothers, they got to choose whenever they wanted to smash the glass, and that's why KG is actually in a leather jacket, because it's real glass that they had to
cool.
shatter. And it was the director waiting whenever he felt like it. He hits the button, and smashes.
Comes out of nowhere.
And it's great because like there's this build up, and then when it reaches the top, the glass smashes and it kind of resets the scene for a second. It's really good.
Well, you were saying that the loop he uses, which is the eyeglass, I was just looking up to make sure I got the name right. LOUPE. The loop that they use, like you'll see
the magnifying glass.
Yeah, the jewelers
they wear around their necks usually.
Yeah. You like you know what to see,
like a
basically.
little spyglass thing.
Yeah, that's what I looked up actually. I looked up jeweler's spyglass, and they were like, oh yeah. But that was given to him by the jeweler he trailed, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, that's my favorite loop.
That's my best loop. That's my favorite loop. This was his big thing. Like, and he was really attached to that.
And Sandler brought that into the movie.
And he says in it, like, he pretty much echoes, he even said that to the Safdie brothers.
Yeah.
I really want to get in that. That's my favorite loop.
Yeah.
And the Safdies make the point when they're breaking down the scene that is like, so he's selling this rock that's worth like $100,000. And yeah, he's like, my loop. That's my favorite loop.
Yeah.
Be careful with that, you know. And they even said that to your man that he trailed, the jeweler lended Adam Sandler the loop, and even after the scene was shot, your man was ringing them up, going, "That's my favorite loop. I need that back."
Yeah.
So obviously, it's like, well, maybe it's just that jeweler, but I would imagine that all jewelers kind of have that connection to their good loop.
There's got to be certain things that they're attached to, like he is the ring. He is the ring that he won't take off, and but. I just want to say that the Safdies, and I've noticed this in both movies now, they give you a character who really isn't likable or redeemable in any way. Like, Adam Sandler's not a particularly good guy. Like, he's
kind of, like, and when you see how many places he owes money to, you're like, he's kind of a scumbag.
Yeah, but he's not...
A scumbag who I want to see win so badly.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same
because he's ripping a lot of people off.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, we're not going to really spoil the movie because really this is still just a general synopsis.
Oh, totally, yeah.
But when you learn how much money he's leaking from like every pocket, when you're like, oh fuck, he owes money to that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't even own that thing that he's lending out. He's selling this thing that he doesn't own as well.
Yeah.
The guy just owes money everywhere, and he keeps digging.
Yeah.
And digging further into debt.
Yeah, it's just...
Sorry, I kind of trampled over your...
No, it's fine. I was just going to say that they do the same in Good Time. Robert Pattinson is not a good person in it.
Not at all.
At the same time, like, he's trying to get the money to get his brother out. I'm still, by the end of the movie, rooting for him to get that money or to get his brother out.
You're on his side.
Yeah, I'm like, for some reason, it's captivating to watch, and I want this guy to get what he wants, you know?
I love that when it's kind of like an anti-hero, but he's like an anti-hero who's not even being a hero.
No.
He's not doing any good. He's only good he's doing is for himself. It's all for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please let Sandler win. Please let his character get out of this, you know?
Yeah.
Let him pay off all his debt and walk into the sunrise.
Yeah. It's with that very beautiful girl that is dating him.
That was like her second role ever. She's a legitimate friend of the Safdie brothers, so they wrote in her own personality traits into the character.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Also, it has like, it's I think 7th on the F-bomb ranking list.
Really?
For having the most fucks in a movie.
No fucks given on that show.
No fucks? Oh, I like it.
Thank you.
Except no, there's actually many fucks given.
Many fucks given.
There's too many fucks for certain people.
Many fucks. I've seen many pigs eat many men before.
So I found the list of it. So it ranks 7th on the the top 10 F-bomb list with 408 F-bombs. Number 1 is SwearNet, which is made by the guys who do the Trailer Park Boys, and it's called SwearNet. So you know, it's kind of there. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
But the third is The Wolf of Wall Street.
Hey.
With 569 F-bombs.
That's got some good fucks in it, though.
It has some fantastic ones.
Yeah.
But Casino is 6th with 422.
You motherfucker!
So the lovely mannered Scorsese actually has 2 in the top 10.
Of course he does.
Now 8, right, just behind Uncut Gems, is Straight Outta Compton. And I don't really think of that.
I don't remember that many fucks in that movie.
No, even though you're like, oh, it kind of works with the characters and all that. Like 392. But yeah, Uncut Gems is 7th on the F-bomb list, which I just thought was interesting. And also, it's filmed on real film.
Yeah.
What's it? 35mm film. And I love the grain. That kind of gives you... It's like this low-budget style, and yet you're like, this feels like a low-budget movie, but yeah, so it's got so much style and grace.
But you're watching it, and you're like, I'm there. You know? That's what the grain does. It's
nothing seems cheap about it.
Yeah.
Even though you're like, this seems like a low budget movie.
This environment, like the environment you're in, it's gritty and it's cheap, and you feel like you're actually in there. And
Like the jewelry store is a completely fictional set.
Yeah.
That was made, and doesn't it seems like a legit jewelry store?
totally, I was like, I can imagine there being multiple places like that in New York.
Yeah.
But anyway, everyone, if you have Netflix, you have no reason not to watch Uncut
Well, now
Gems.
I don't know if it's on the American Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
It probably isn't.
Sorry, guys.
I thought I missed it in the cinema. I thought it was one of those, flash in the pans. It's because it's such an independent release. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's out for 5 days in Ireland.
Yeah.
But no, Netflix has the rights for just about worldwide except for America.
Cool.
But I will say, so Lakeith Stanfield, sorry.
Yeah.
He enjoyed working with the Safdies so much that he said that he'd love to play the Joker.
Yeah.
In a Safdie brothers directed movie.
He's wanted to play the Joker for ages.
For a long time. Even when he went to the Joker premiere, he had the full get up.
Yeah.
And he said, "Can you imagine?" Like, he was in an interview and he was saying, "I still want to play Joker."
Yeah.
Even though, like, they were asking him, "Do you not feel like it sucks that Joaquin Phoenix gave such an amazing performance that that's going to be ingrained in everyone's mind for a long time? So you probably won't get to play Joker for a long time." And they asked him, "But if you did get to play it, who would you like to work with?" And he was like, "Can you imagine me doing a Joker movie with the Safdie brothers?" I just love how he enjoys it. Here, man, Adam Sandler and the two Safdies, they get along so well.
I need to watch this video. It seems to be cool that, like, they seem to...
The scene breakdown?
Yeah, from what you said,
it's Fandango.
I want to see them bounce off each other,
Yeah, Fandango do it on YouTube.
But the Safdies are, like, they're serious film nerds.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched videos of them before, and they talk about, like, when people throw out crazy references to movies from the 70s that no one saw, it's like, yeah, I mean, someone I would say well-versed in film, no idea about that.
Yeah.
It's,
like Quentin Tarantino, he's an encyclopedia.
Oh, yeah.
A film encyclopedia. You're like, okay.
I went and saw every movie that came out. I went and saw
every interviewer gets an education in movies.
Yeah, totally. The only guy I've seen who's able to kind of keep up is Jonathan Ross, because he's a huge film buff as well.
Sure, his wife is like a screenwriter as well.
Yeah, and the guy who does the Radio 1 interviews that are always really good. I don't know what he does, but he's like your career in film, and whenever he's on, he seems to be like he's really well versed in film. Spike Jonze, actually, he was like, it's good to talk to a fellow film buff as well.
Well, Quentin Tarantino famously...
Spike Lee. Not Spike Jonze.
Yeah, Spike Lee is the African-American gentleman that's been around for a long time.
Yes.
I just love that Quentin Tarantino always says, "I didn't go to film school. I just went to films." He just went to the cinema.
Yeah.
It's now at the same time you're like, well, some people probably need to go to film school to learn stuff, but I do love it's so practical. He's just like, I watched films and I absorbed that, and then I was like, I'm going to recreate my own.
But he talks about the songs in his film, like he used the song from Kill Bill, like the badass slow motion one. He was like, I only saw that because I went to see this movie, and the only reason I saw that movie was because it's based on another movie, and when I saw that movie I was like, man, that's not really good, but the song in that is really good, and I'm going to introduce it in another thing.
Speaking of cokeheads.
Yeah, speaking of cokeheads, I think he's just neurotic.
I think though he took some.
There's an element, I'm sure. Yeah, in some stage of his life.
Hey.
Yeah, what are you going to do? He's a creative. Whatever. Yeah. So we've spent a lot of time talking about reviews and box office, but we need to talk about 3 James Bond films. Yes, we are still trucking along. I don't know if you're doing it at home, but we would,
Hey.
I hope you're enjoying it as much as we are.
On board.
Yeah, so we watched You Only Live Twice on Her Majesty Secret Service and Diamonds Are Forever. So we got the last 2 Connerys.
We're finished with Connery.
We're done with Connery, and we got the Lazenby one.
Yeah, which is just shoehorned in the middle there.
Shoehorned in the middle. Could have been at any stage because they completely ignore everything else.
Yeah.
During those films, but whatever. We'll talk about You Only Live Twice first. We both agreed that this is the weakest of the ones we've watched so far.
Now, you got to remember that this is the 5th Bond movie, and all the other Bond movies leading up to this added so much to the Bond franchise.
Yeah.
The whole saga. You're like, oh shit, that's going to run for a few decades now. Like, that's what I've been saying about all the movies, where you watch Goldfinger and you're like, wow, this is the first flamboyant villain that's got the foreign accent and all like that, and you're like, he's got an obsession with gold, something so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I
love gold.
You got Odd Job.
Odd Job, yeah, classic.
Who throws a shoe?
Who throws a shoe? Can you go to the Rotten Tomatoes for You Only Live Twice?
where you only live twice is the first one. It doesn't really supply any substance to the franchise.
No.
I will say the one thing that I love about it, it's the first reveal of Blofeld.
Yeah.
And the villain layer is epic.
Yeah.
And they really built that.
Yeah. It's an epic villain layer for sure. And
it has its own metro system.
Yeah, it's pretty detailed. And then the little Nelly stuff, which is a helicopter, that's pretty cool as well.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Q just brings like a make your own helicopter in a suitcase.
But the movie is super racist, like really racist.
Have you seen what's it? Team America.
Team
That's
America.
what I'm looking for.
Yeah, Sean Connery goes undercover as a Japanese man at one stage, or Chinese. Is it Chinese or Japanese?
No, it's Japanese. It's Japanese.
Thank God.
And it's awful.
It's awful. And like a lot of like scenes, there's no continuity. Stuff just doesn't make sense. He jumps from one thing. For some reason, he sleeps with a woman who's from Spectre, and then they're in a plane together, and she kicks him out
or
for
there's
some
reason that she sleeps with him as well. I'm like, your boss is going to find out about this, and you're going to get eaten by piranhas. What are you doing?
He's running from her goons. He gets in her office, and she's like, "Oh, I was expecting you," and blah blah blah. They have this whole back and forth, and then they sleep with each other.
Did she just capture him so she could fuck his brains out?
Yeah, and then she gets eaten by piranhas later, and it's like she's shoved in there to meet a sex quota.
She's number 11 as well. I just love that you're ranked 11. You're not even the top 10.
Yeah.
I love number 2, number 11.
Number 9.
It must get confusing. Where's number 3? Well, he's gone off to take a number 2.
Yeah,
and number 4 is ordering a 3 and 1.
Yeah, I love. By the way, they're all given numbers, but like the main villain in the movie always looks so distinctive. Like in Thunderball, it's like, okay, these are kind of generic accounting guys. Guys. Oh, a guy with an eye patch. He must be the main Largo. He must be the main villain. You know?
Do you feel like they're in the meeting going, "Oh, where's number 3? Who's number 3 again? Fred. Oh, you're asking me where Fred is. Oh, Fred's hanging out with number. He's hanging out with John.
Yeah,
okay, Fred and John are together.
Yeah. They're taking a number 2, and he's taking a number 1, and then sometimes they do a number 3. What is a number 3? Who knows? But they do it.
It's both at the same time.
Yeah, the two of them together. But you only live twice. It's pretty racist. There's no good through line. I mean, the whole premise is he gets killed at the beginning, like they fake his death. But James Bond's death isn't treated like, it's kind of unceremonious.
I like that he fakes his own death, as in I'm thinking, well, he's not much of a secret agent. He's just an agent. Like, whoever asks him, "Hey, I'm James Bond. I'm James Bond."
If it's a woman asks him as well, like, Bond, James Bond.
Also, I just think it's the child payments, the child welfare payments, because he's got babies scattered around the world, so he's like, I need to fake my own death.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, cool, he's faking his own death, because everyone knows who James Bond is. And this film is like, it just suspends reality to a degree where you're like, okay, I know James Bond, this guy loves gold. How Goldfinger dies as well. Feet first through the airplane.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad. But anyway, I'm like, I can suspend reality only so far, where you're like, why is he, what do you call it when he's like mummified?
Oh, yeah.
Embalmed, something like that. And they're on a naval ship, and they throw the body in. And you're like, there's no reason why he should be himself mummified
in that coffin.
There's no reason. That could be bricks.
Yeah.
That could be a body shape. That could be bricks shaped like a body that gets thrown off, because you could break your neck if you hit that water wrong.
Yeah.
No. It's James Bond taking a nap with an oxygen mask.
It's
you're just like, why? It starts in space with a spaceship eating an evil spaceship eating another spaceship.
And then that scene looks so good for the time. They do it twice in the movie. And
they love it. They love it.
Oh, man,
you want to see that again?
I do not want to see that again. No. So you only live twice.
Here, out of all those 3 movies, I actually wrote down certain things that just jumped out for me. It was like, starts in space.
Yeah.
Because you're like, why is a James Bond movie starting in space?
Yeah.
Fakes his death.
Yeah.
Toy helicopter. The helicopter's pretty cool.
Little Nelly.
Spectre base. Blofeld. Piranha. That's what I wrote down, because I was like, hey, I like the base. I love that Blofeld, of course, has not just a pet cat, but pet piranhas.
Pet piranhas, of course he does.
Perfectly on brand.
Yeah.
Ninjas.
Oh,
there's ninjas.
My ninja army. I've been preparing. It's
because
like,
we're in Japan. Of course, there's ninjas.
Yeah, he's like, you don't need soldiers. You need ninjas.
You need ninjas.
Like, oh my
god! And then you have your normal ninjas that are just doing their kung fu and shit like that. Yeah. And then you've got your ninjas who shoot guns.
Yeah, but they all die.
And have cigarette guns.
But they all die the same way by the end of it. And then for some reason he goes undercover, and he's like, you must take a wife as well, and she must do whatever you say. And
that's what I have down here. Japanese Bond.
Yeah, Japanese Bond.
And ninja training. Like, he actually goes through ninja training. But what's weird is he puts these prosthetics on his face.
Yeah.
And then he does the training as well. And he just never takes those prosthetics off. Like, how uncomfortable. Do you have to sleep with your fake eyebrows? Oh. And that haircut makes him look like a serial killer.
It's really, really bad. So, You Only Live Twice, I would say, and even of the next two, it's the worst Bond so far.
To me, it really is. And we were looking at the reviews, and
it's 73%. Like, that's higher than Diamonds Are Forever, which we think is a much better Bond film.
Much better.
Yeah. But
and the audience score is 68%, which is more kind of... It sides a little bit more with us.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably give it in the 50s myself.
Yeah, like if I had to rate it out of 5 stars, I'd give it 2.5.
Yeah, me too.
Mainly just because I like Connery as Bond.
Yeah.
And I do love the actor who plays Blofeld in it. Is his only time playing Blofeld.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that performance.
There's elements of it that I like, but like it's easily the worst one we've watched so far, and it was just boring. I fell asleep during it the first time.
The setup goes on for over an hour.
Like the setup in Thunderball goes on for ages, but I'm entertained while it's happening. You know what I mean? This is just glazed over, not entertaining.
I get a little confused as well. I'm just
too.
like, wait, why is he going here?
There is a very the plot is so hard to follow.
Oh, we should say who wrote it.
Oh, Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl wrote the screenplay for You Only Live Twice.
Shame on you, Roald Dahl.
What the what?
Yeah.
What?
You should stick to the kids' books, honestly.
Yeah, when you finish Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you want to write a James Bond movie?
Yeah. Do you think...
okay.
Do you think James and the Giant Peach was initially his pitch for a sex scene in James Bond?
Oh, yeah, boy.
and then he changed it to a kid's book. But
is Roald Dahl, like, his agent's on the line going, hey, the guy is at, what was it called, United America? Or,
yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, United Artists.
That's what it was called before it becomes Eon. E-O-N.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you can imagine his agent going, hey, the guys want you to write a James Bond movie. You're like, you're fucking with me. Is it April Fool's?
Yeah. And it was like, hey, could you...
I'm trying to finish Matilda. What are you asking from me?
Could you write a good one? And he's like, nah.
He even says in interviews, I read interviews where he's like, I didn't really know what to do, so I just kind of went with the standard formula.
Oh.
Which, it's not even... It's
worse.
Yeah, it really is.
It's just bad. I don't know. I really didn't like You Only Live Twice. But now we're going to move on to a very underrated Bond, in my opinion. George Lazenby's first and only outing is on Her Majesty's Secret Service. I think it's a great Bond film.
I think it's really good.
Yeah.
And I do understand why it failed at the box office.
Yeah.
Because it was the first changing Bond.
Yeah.
Like I was saying this to you that we're so used to it now, it's like a bit of a revolving door. You're like, oh, it's a new Bond. Mm-hmm. But this was the first instance of them just changing up Bond. And I can imagine the knee-jerk reaction of being like, what? Where the fuck? Connery looks weird.
Yeah, but they don't do him any favors. Like we were saying, if you want to introduce a new Bond, here's what you need to do. You need to go a new direction, new style, which they do very well.
The direction style is extremely different.
It's different, and I like it, and I enjoy it, but you need to have a killer theme, and this one does not have a good theme.
It's a great song.
But
it's not a Bond song.
Not a Bond song, and even in the opening credits, like it's kind of like an alternate version of the...
It's a instrumental as well.
Yeah, it's just kind of the same over. It's a bit...
But the Bond theme is actually the Louis Armstrong song.
Yeah.
All the Time in the World. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. But
that's an absolute gem of a song. It's a classic song. That's not it's not a Bond tune.
No.
And the fact that they play it during a romantic montage.
Oh, it's terrible.
Like that's the only instance of it in the movie.
Yeah. But George Lazenby is an Australian, and he's doing a great British accent for pretty much all of the movie.
I think he's a great Bond.
I think he's a great Bond. I really like him. He's a bit more suave than Connery, I would say, and he's a bit less forward and pushy, I would say. He marries Diana Rigg, who is Olenna from Game of Thrones, if anyone, for modern people, who looks beautiful.
The fell-mounted mother, isn't
Grandmother.
Yeah,
the fell-mounted grandmother who poisons herself and everyone loves.
She's badass.
She's badass in the show, and she's kind of badass in this, and I really like her.
Yeah, she's actually really good.
She puts in a good performance, and it's an emotional James Bond. Like when he gets married at the end and all that happens.
Well, we should spoil it. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, she dies in the end, and it's the first time we see Bond cry.
And it's like Oh my god, it kind of hits
registers,
you.
yeah.
It registers.
It's like, wow.
But even before
But this
that,
is what we needed.
Yeah.
We actually needed it because, you know what? He sleeps with everyone. Okay, he's a walking STI. I get it.
Yeah.
But finally, like, he falls in love. Mm-hmm. And it's necessary. And, like, 6 movies in, you're like, oh, now he has something to lose.
it's snatched away. But that's the cool thing about when we're going to get to it. But Casino Royale, you know, he's in love with Vesper in the end, and it turns out she was lying to him the whole time.
And it breaks his heart.
It breaks his heart and it breaks your heart as an audience.
Yeah.
But then after that, you understand his relationship with women throughout the rest of it.
Of course, and then you get a broken bond
Yeah.
for Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think they really do it justice, but I do love that we get a broken bond. And not to skip too far ahead, but like in Diamonds Are Forever, because Connery comes back, you sort of get a broken bond. Like, you
Not
get a
really.
Bond who's like, oh, I want to get Blofeld, but at the same time, he
don't
just
tell you-
reverts back to like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm just sleeping with women and I'm
Yeah.
James Bond.
But they don't tell you why. Like, he could be trying to get Blofeld for the thing he did and You Only Live Twice. He could just be on a hunt from that. Like,
Yeah.
George Lazenby's Bond, the Diamonds Are Forever does a kind of a good job of being a kind of a sequel to that. And then also, if you skip that, it wouldn't really matter.
Yeah,
You know?
totally. I feel like that's what they were doing. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this may have happened. If you wanted it to happen, if you choose that this happened on Her Majesty's Secret Service,
Yeah.
then it happened.
Yeah.
If you don't want to view it as a reality, okay,
We totally get it. Yeah.
we can
But
skip over it.
I really like it. They've too many skiing scenes. That's the one thing I would say.
And yet, it's the skiing movie. You know
Yeah.
that way, like,
Yeah.
everyone knows it. It's like, hey, this is where Bond goes to all those snowy
Goes
landscapes.
skiing, and then he fights Blofeld in a bobsled.
Bobsled.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on
Also,
here?
Telly Savalas as Blofeld, he was a very famous actor at the time, so him stepping into the role was a big deal. And he brings a kind of, I would say, Clancy Brown, he kind of sounds like, and he brings a certain kind of power to Blofeld as well.
The one thing that I didn't understand is, like, why is Blofeld on the ski chase with his goons?
Oh, yeah.
You know the way, like, Blofeld to me always seemed like the guy who's pressing the buttons and he's pulling the strings.
Yeah.
But he's not the guy who's, like, in the car chasing
Yeah.
Bond. And that was kind of odd to see.
Well, Telly Savalas played a TV detective called Kojak, and he was kind of an action guy, so that's probably why when they brought him
he's
in,
got
they
the
were
chops.
like, we're going to give Blofeld like a bit more domineering presence, you know. But
We should talk, though, about how George Lazenby's Bond goes undercover as a gay Scottish man.
Yeah.
And all he does is sleep with women.
yeah, he still manages to sleep with all
All
the
they
women.
want is a shot of that vitamin D.
Yeah, every single time.
Please let me play with your joystick.
Come on, James. They're like,
And he gives it.
they're like, the only thing he's allergic to is women, and legitimately in the movie he seduces 2 women with exactly the same lines and moves.
Yeah.
He uses the same things on both of them, and it's like, it's almost played for laughs.
It's also jarring because you literally see a romantic montage where James Bond finally falls in love.
Yeah.
Then what happens? Cut to him undercover fucking women.
Hey, listen, he's doing it for Her Majesty's government, you know.
What I do for England.
What I do for the things I do for England, you
Yeah.
know. But
And then the minute he sees his girlfriend again,
Yeah.
he's like instantly in love with her and pretty much proposes. You're like, wait, hold on. Does she not sniff the goddamn like homewrecker pussy off him?
okay, so I love the moment when they're in the barn and he lifts
Oh!
her up and he's like, my New Year's resolution is I'll save that for our wedding night. And she's like,
Yeah.
whatever you say, James. And he puts her on the thing and then he reaches over and he pulls the paperwork and he stabs it and she slides into his arms. He's like, it's not New Year's yet.
Not New Year's yet, yeah. Because I was like, hold on. I didn't know. I didn't know that happened.
I forgot that happened.
So I was going, wait, first of all, he just proposed to her. Like, he forgot. It seemed like he forgot about her very quickly once he had a mission and he was fucking other women. Say it's for England. He was enjoying himself.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, you know, the perks of the job.
Listen.
And then the minute he sees her again, he's like, will you marry me?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm going to abstain from sexual activity. I'm like, what's going on here?
James.
And then when he starts riding her, you're like, there we go.
There
There's
we
the
go.
Bond.
That's
like,
the boy. That's the
I don't
badger.
think New Year's is ever going to come.
Yeah, me neither. I know who's coming though.
Uh-huh.
So George Lazenby's underrated, definitely.
The direction as well
Is really interesting.
It's like a one-time director. Like, do you know it's the guy who edited every single movie beforehand?
Really?
All of them. So he did Doctor No. He did From Russia with Love. He did Goldfinger. He edited all the movies until then, and that's why he got the chance to direct.
That's cool.
And he brings a totally unique style. I would say more modern. It's like there's a lot of cutscenes, but the pace of the fights, is pretty spectacular.
It's a bit more brutal and realistic. The fights.
It's just not perfected yet.
No,
it's a bit janky. They don't totally line up. There's a lot of cutscenes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can see what he's going for.
Totally.
And it's not perfect, but I think because the audience had that knee-jerk reaction and pretty much rejected Lazenby's Bond, they were like, okay, screw that, we're not doing that. And then they bring back, I forget who directed it, but so what's the next one? It's
Diamonds Are Forever.
Diamonds Are Forever. It's someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, the score for that is, I forgot how low it is.
Yeah, it's bad.
Guy Hamilton. And he does many of the Bonds.
He does.
So obviously the studio even were like, oh, no part of that movie is going to cross over into Diamonds Are Forever. Yeah. Now, you may ask, what was Sean Connery up to over those 4 years that he took off from James Bond? He was eating burgers, kebabs.
He was losing
his hair.
And just, he is not in good shape in this movie.
So all these episodes that we've been doing on the podcast, I'm like, wow, Sean Connery looks like my dad if he worked out.
Yeah.
Now he just looks like my dad.
Yeah.
I'm like, even in the suit, I'm like, oh,
he
looks rough.
He does look rough. But I mean, Diamonds Are Forever, it's a tricky one for me because I enjoy a lot of elements of it, and then it just it goes a bit too Roger Moore for me, and I don't like seeing Sean Connery do that stuff.
I know, and it's weird because it starts like a Sean Connery James Bond movie.
It's kind of smaller, and the story's a bit more, it's kind of more nefarious and more real, I guess.
Like Bond still always brings a kitschness to it.
Yeah.
But there's like a Roger Moore kitschness, and there's a Sean Connery kitschness.
Yeah.
Where Sean Connery's has more finesse.
Yeah,
I would say.
Whereas, like, there's this scene where he drops in like a balloon, a gerbil, and he walks over, and then he gets out and he says,
in a full suit,
and I'm like, that was so Roger Moore.
Yeah,
like I didn't like
it really
that at all.
So this was the first one I've watched with my girlfriend, and I think it's because I've been talking about the Bond, like what we've been doing and my experience.
Yeah.
And I think she just, of course, all I've really talked about with her is how far from feminist it is, like how misogynistic it is, and it humors me. I'm like, geez, you wouldn't believe what Sean Connery does in this movie or that movie.
Yeah.
And so I watched Diamonds Are Forever with her, and it opens up with him kicking ass, and he's like, where's Blofeld, to this guy and that guy, and then he comes up to a woman, and he's like, he's like, where's Blofeld, and she's like, oh, hey, what's going on? And he's like, I think you have something to get off your chest, and he takes off her bikini, and my girlfriend's like, whoa, I get what you mean. No, that was just the beginning. Then he uses the bikini to strangle her, and he's like, spit it out, you know? And she's like, okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, fuck. There's many levels to misogyny. And it's like, wow.
Funny enough, this isn't even his worst one. I think it's it's quite subdued, this one, in all fairness.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, those early ones are really bad.
Yeah.
Thunderball, I think, is the worst.
But I just loved how it was progressively getting worse in the scene.
Yeah.
She thought, like, wow, just him walking up to some random woman, this 40-year-old man, he's just like, hey, I'm gonna fuck you.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then no, I'm actually gonna strangle you.
Yeah. It's bad. And then
poor girl died from a severe case of blue balls, really, actually.
Yeah, really. I mean,
didn't get that.
We've
James Bond dick.
We've established that every woman in this universe wants to fuck James
every
Bond.
Woman.
They have a great Irish girl in here called Plenty O'Toole.
What's he say to her?
He says, named after your father, I imagine. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, it's great. But we came to a similar conclusion about two of the main villains in this, that funny enough, we came to each other and we were like, hey, did you think this as well? So that there are two hitmen in it, and Mr. Kidd and Mr. Wind.
Like they're like his goons.
They're like, but they're like the main
Blofeld's goons.
They're kind of like the Odd Job, this movie.
Yeah. Like
they've got a bit of character. They're kind of fun. I actually quite like them.
They're very different. They stand out, like they jump out in every scene. You're like, wow, this is weird.
But they're memorable, and I kind of like
even the look of them.
Yeah.
Like, could they make the guy with the terrible little fringe? He's got got the worst hairline ever,
Yeah.
and he's got that little tuft, and he decided to comb it down
He just
into
looks
a
like
fringe.
like even more of a walrus.
And then the other guy's got that protruding jaw.
Yeah, and then the bun haircut and
They
everything.
couldn't look odder. They couldn't
Yeah.
look weirder.
But anyway, they're like psychopathic killers. Like they make quips as they murder innocent people and everything.
But we need to make them more evil.
Yeah.
What could we do?
Make them gay?
That sounds good.
Yeah. So we kind of came to the conclusion that like the two characters heavily implied that they're gay together.
They hold hands.
They hold hands, and then at one point, Mr. Wynn says, "You know that lady? She's not bad looking for a lady."
For a
And
lady,
Mr. Wynn looks over jealous and everything.
Yeah.
But like,
There's an odd sexual tension between them.
yeah, but it's heavily implied they're gay together. But we think they did that back then because to make them look like more psychopathic, because
Yeah,
that was
more evil,
and like
which is
strange.
so wrong.
It's terrible.
Another level.
No, it really is, because like both of us love Mindhunter,
Yes.
and they talk about in that like homosexuality is under like it's down as a deviancy.
Deviancy.
Yeah.
That's the word.
It's
yeah.
down as a deviancy. So I was like, oh,
Sexually deviant or something like that.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's
like-
what it is.
Like, funny enough, it's not. They didn't.
We're not endorsing that. But,
Oh no.
But it's clearly what they're going for.
I think
They're
that's
like,
what they're
hey,
going for.
How could we make these guys seem even more evil?
Especially for the time. You know what I mean?
Make them gay.
Yeah, we'll make them gay.
And I tell you, there's something really uneasy about seeing two, like goons or whatever, hold hands after killing a man.
Yeah, totally.
Because you're just like, are they just gonna fuck now?
Yeah.
After killing someone,
It is unsettling.
Yeah.
I will. But like,
this is like date night for them.
yeah,
You want to kill a guy with a scorpion?
exactly.
And then
And then
fuck
go,
each
then
other.
go fuck. Yeah.
Hey, that sounds so romantic.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
But they kind of make them iconic. Like he has the spray thing, and that's how they get caught in the end, which I like.
Yeah, because of course, Connery's got a good nose.
Oh,
James
man.
Bond's got a fantastic nose.
Connery has a great line where he looks at the rat and he's like, "I don't know if it's you, old boy, but one of us smells like a tart's handkerchief." and he sniffs,
Whoa.
and he sniffs himself, and then he goes, "Sorry, old chap."
Also, the passive aggressiveness between him and M
Yeah.
in that movie where
Yeah.
he's talking about the sherry.
Oh man, yeah. It's like,
There's some serious passive aggressiveness.
who didn't call who back? Like that's what I want to know.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on
These
there?
two men who are good friends for a very long time seem to really not like each other right
And
now.
they won't say it out straight.
No.
But they're like, there's a little battle of words.
Is there anything you don't? It's nice to know there's something you're not an expert in, 007.
Yes, and then he asks something like, "Oh, they're talking about something about the diamonds," and he goes, "Oh, do you know the location of those men?" Or I can't
Yeah.
remember. Either way, he's like, "We function without you at times,
You know
Mr.
we
Bond."
function without you, Mr. 007. Yeah, it's
They're
weird.
just making little jabs at each other. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. But I also like it. Like it's campy. There's good times when it's campy, and sometimes it dips into Roger Moore too much
Yeah.
for me. Like Willard White. I can only say it like that. Willard White. He's played by Jimmy Dean, who's like a famous country singer and actor, but he's some great lines and great delivery. Baja, I don't own anything in Baja.
I'm not even going to attempt the accent.
But it like the plot gets crazy, and you know
The plot is it gets so far.
if there's diamonds in a movie, what are you making? A laser, obviously.
yeah. If Batman and Superman, Batman and Robin ever taught me anything,
Yeah.
it's that you need diamonds for a laser.
You use a diamond to make a laser.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. But anyway, so the only one so far that we would say you could give a miss, I would say, is You Only Live Twice.
You only live twice. I felt every minute of the 2 hours.
Me too.
You know, it's that thing where you're like, oh, I'm nearly finished this. It must be
Yeah.
an hour and a half in. I'm 40 minutes into this movie.
I was tempted
What?
After I woke up after falling asleep during it, it was the end credits, and I was like, will I just tell Ian I watched it? But no, I got 40 minutes in and I had to go back. And the parts...
You would have missed the evil layer, though, and that is probably the best thing about it.
Totally. And like, I mean, for an out-of-touch, dated timepiece, it is pretty funny to see the shit that they thought was okay.
Yeah, when they make him Japanese, you're like... Are you joking?
Yeah.
No. They're putting prosthetics on his eyes
Yeah,
now.
I was trying to tell you.
Oh shit.
I was trying to tell you about this as well, and you were like, "What? No."
Nah, they wouldn't be that bad.
Oh, yeah,
it
they're
is like
bad.
watching Team America.
Yeah, it really is. And
They're
just-
about to hand him a hammer and go, "If you need to take your life."
Yeah, or they stick like pubes on his face or whatever. That's what I always think it looks like in Team America.
That's one thing that I'm gonna miss as we get more modern.
Yeah.
Is how out of touch
Yeah.
and you know how much of like like that movie, those two goons having
Yeah.
that sexual tension, being homosexual, it's such a time capsule. You're
Totally.
like, wow, they were that out of touch.
Yeah. But listen, we've still got a few more good ones to go. Next up is one we're both very excited for. A strong one in our memories, Live and Let Die.
Live and let die. Boom.
And then after
Can't
that...
wait for that. I'm just so glad now to be out of the Connery era.
Yeah, me too.
I loved it at first, but now I'm like, hey, it's actually time for a bit of more.
I'm ready to dive into some Roger Moore. And
Yeah.
I no doubt I think I'll grow sick of Roger Moore far sooner than I will Connery.
Yeah, I think 3 movies in, it's gonna feel there's gonna be some labor in those watching.
But listen, the first two are great. We've got Live and Let Die, great one, and The Man with the Golden Gun, Christopher Lee.
Can't wait. Cannot wait.
With what's his name?
I can't help you.
The
I
little
don't know.
kids, not little kid, the guy's name. I know the actor's name. Oh, fuck, I'll think of it in a minute. Just give me some time. I'll get it in a minute. Anyway, we should move on to trailers because we're an hour in and we haven't done any of the news or anything.
So trailers.
So we got an interesting one with Spiral
From the Book of Saw.
from the Book of Saw.
That's actually the title.
And you know what?
It's like a Star Wars story
Yeah.
or what's it? Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
You're like, really, from the Book of Saw? It kind of sounds cool, but
Yeah.
it's so unnecessary.
I'm kind
at
of
the
into
same time.
it, I gotta say.
Yeah?
Yeah, and watching the trailer and after seeing the poster, you know, it's Chris Rock produced, he came up with the idea and everything. I'm pretty excited for it.
It's not a bad trailer.
No.
I was saying to you, I was like, I'm clearly going to hate this. And then I was watching it and I was hating that I was liking it.
Yeah.
Because-
It's Sam Jackson, it's Chris Rock, and yeah, I mean, Chris Rock is almost like, I know it's Chris Rock, but he doesn't look like Chris Rock.
He looks like Chris Rock, but he doesn't look like Chris
Yeah.
Rock. Because it's not as if he has prosthetics on. It's not as if he's trying to pretend to be Japanese or anything like James
Yeah.
Bond. It's just Chris Rock in a shirt and sunglasses. But you're like, oh, he's a detective.
But it's the
now.
goatee. It's like there's something about him. He just doesn't look like himself. It's like the guy we think is 50 Cent in Moonlight.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Think. Is that not it?
Oh, yeah, it is
Curtis
50
Jackson?
Cent.
Here, though, isn't it just so weird that Chris Rock came to Lionsgate with like an idea for Saw? Like, I still
Yeah.
can't get over that.
Me neither. And I can't believe it's an actual thing that's happening as well.
Like, it's been made.
Yeah. And I'm excited for it, which is strange to say.
It looks fun. It looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It looks more like a sequel to Seven than
Yeah.
a sequel to Saw. Because Saw gets so goofy.
Even with the color grading, it kind of looks like a 7
Yeah.
sequel. Even the poster, as you said, it looks like a Nolan poster or a 7
The
poster.
poster is fantastic.
It
I'll
is.
throw it up on the screen. Everyone should check it out. Now, one thing that I will say about the trailer is we don't get too much information as well.
No.
So usually the first trailer is pretty good. You know, once I see more story details, I'll be able to judge this more.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Me
Samuel
too.
L. Jackson, Chris Rock in a Saw movie.
Yeah.
That Chris Rock came up with. Okay.
Okay.
Why
in.
not?
I'm there. I'm there
It can't
for
be
it.
worse than Saw 15 or whatever they ended it on.
Saw 6?
No, I think it's like 8 or 9.
No, there's 6. There's Saw 6 and then there's Jigsaw, which is 7.
But then there's 7.
Yeah, no, but there's 6 Saw movies, then there's Jigsaw, which is like...
But it's
a
Saw movie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Saw 7.
It's more of like...
Come on.
Okay, 7 movies, I'll say. It's not 8 or 9, though. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Oh, yeah.
exaggerating
Yeah, yeah.
because, like,
Well, now
I
it's
think-
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the last 5 were probably unnecessary.
Yeah.
I guess 1, 2, maybe 3. You could be like, once John Boy dies, you're like, why are we making more?
Yeah.
And he's still in every single one of them.
Yeah, because he's the best part of them.
I know he is.
The actor who
really
plays
good.
him just fucking kills it every
But
time.
did it feel like they shouldn't? Do you feel like they regretted it instantly? Where they're like, we should have killed him maybe the 5th one.
And they were like, oh shit, we like autopsied him in the 4th one.
I know. Maybe no one will show up to see the next one,
Yeah.
and we'll get away with it. And they're like, "Oh, it was another fucking hit.
Oh,
we got
shit.
we got to make another 3 of these guys."
Yeah.
He's dead. What are we gonna do? Doesn't he die in the second one?
Second or third one. One or the other. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
And then you have to just do the same trick, regurgitate the same trick.
same shit. It's just
He's dead, but he's still haunting people.
It's a different protege who's doing it now and everything.
Yeah. How many toys did he make?
Yeah.
Like how many death traps did he actually make?
Yeah, how many was he doing before he did the first one we saw?
Man, his work might have killed him because he was overworked.
Yeah. He never killed anyone except for the people he 100% killed. You know, he like definitely killed that person.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on to another trailer from the Super Bowl. There was lots of different
Yeah, of
stuff
course.
coming out, like clips and everything, but we're just going to focus in on the Marvel stuff.
The fun stuff.
The fun stuff, which has us very excited.
We got our first look at the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Falcon practicing with the shield. So cool.
Hell yeah, bro.
So cool.
Love it.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
they only give us little glimpses of
Yeah.
both. And WandaVision is the other one that they show. And Loki.
Loki.
Oh, like a snippet of Loki.
Yeah, but I'm so excited. You
All
know?
three of them, though.
All three of them, man. So WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is August 2020.
Yeah, August 2020. And
WandaVision is December.
December 2020.
And Loki.
And Loki, we don't have a date for yet, but it's 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so fun that we're getting two, in my opinion, the first two Marvel TV series ever.
Yeah.
Well, first two MCU.
MCU movie
I
series.
know Netflix was supposed to be in the MCU.
Yeah.
And they slowly just backed out of that. And of course, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like Agent Coulson's even in it, and you get the odd cameo
From
of Samuel L. Jackson or Lady Sif's been
Yeah.
in one or two episodes,
Yeah.
and I'm still like, this is disconnected from the
Yeah,
universe. It
me
really
too.
is.
I'm
It's a B-side.
totally Agent Carter as well. There's another one.
Yeah, 2 seasons and it was gone,
Yeah.
and I never really threw it in the MCU. Where
Me
these
neither.
feel like they're in the MCU.
Yeah.
like whatever happens in these TV shows is going to dictate further movies.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
supposedly, WandaVision is going to have a huge impact on Doctor Strange too.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, in the Multiverse
What
of
a name.
Madness. Yeah, Sam Raimi taking over.
Well, he's in talks.
Allegedly. But yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, very excited for. WandaVision looks super interesting and cool and out there.
WandaVision looks mental.
Yeah.
Like, literally mental. Like, it looks like she created some reality either in her head or just her own reality.
Yeah.
But it's like they're stuck in some family sitcom.
It's great. And apparently, like, people have broken down, like, they've named the sitcoms that they're all based on and everything. And I'm like, that's so cool. I'm very excited to watch that.
I think that's going to be a wacky trip.
Me too. And the writer for that is on. They're taking over writing for something else now.
I think so, and I cannot remember
I can't
what
remember
it is.
either.
Shit.
It's a TV series as well.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Anyway, we'll get
It
back
doesn't
to
matter. Anyway,
WandaVision looks fun though.
Yeah.
It's nice to see a snippet of it. It's they really though, they reserve all the good stuff. Like, we don't see anything really
Yeah.
at the same time.
and then you have Loki at the end, and he just says one line, and it's like, I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I was in already anyway.
Yeah.
If the poster was just black and had WandaVision, Loki,
Yeah.
or the Falcon, the Winter Soldier, I'm gonna show up.
I'm in. Yeah.
I'm just so glad that these are coming out after Disney Plus
Yeah.
comes out in Ireland.
Yeah, me too. Because I will be lapping this shit up.
And like, speaking of Disney Plus, so right, yeah, we have the Winter Soldier is going to come out in August this year.
Mm-hmm.
WandaVision is December, and the Mandalorian comes out in October. The Mandalorian season 2.
Great.
We don't have specific dates, but we have months.
Rough, yeah.
So October. I think it was Bob Iger who said some Friday in October.
Some Friday, okay. Cool.
Season 2 of the Mandalorian's coming out.
Nice, Bob.
And they actually, on the same conference call,
Yeah.
Bob Iger revealed that they got 26.5 million subscribers so far. Now, I think Netflix has over 100 million subscribers.
Yeah, but
the territories, and this is only in a few months, like Disney Plus is not in Europe
yeah.
or in South America. It's pretty much just in America, and there's in, like, I think it's in Holland and like Australia or something like that, and that's it.
So, I mean, they're going to shoot up when they release it here.
And it's on 26.5 million. And Bob Iger was like, oh, we surpassed their expectations, which we knew we already did because their servers crashed on the first
Like a million
weekend.
fucking times, yeah.
And surely Disney, who's made of gold, like Disney are like they're building banks for the money, you know?
Yeah.
Like, surely they're like, oh, we're ready.
Mm-hmm.
We're ready for this launch, and then they weren't ready for their own success. You
Yeah.
know, that just says it all.
Hey, guys, we're ready to go. We weren't ready.
We're so ready. We've been working on this for ages, and they're like, oh fuck, it's too many people.
Too many people.
Crashed.
Too many people. Ah! Leave me alone. Can't breathe.
We're not making money.
Can't
Get
breathe.
the servers back up.
Right. Well, we've spent so long talking about everything else. We're just going to rattle off some news quickly,
Yeah.
get some quick fire reactions just to keep you people informed, and then we're going to end on Hunk and Skunk, and we'll wrap it all up.
Hit me,
after
man.
that.
Hit me.
Knives Out sequel has been greenlit.
Daniel Craig walks from one franchise to another.
Can't fucking wait.
Finished with James Bond. Here he goes.
Into Knives Out.
Oh, God. I can't wait. Ryan Wilson,
Johnson.
Ryan Johnson, we give him a lot of shit because of The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But I think this proves that we're not just dickheads.
No.
We just legitimately don't like that movie because I think Knives Out, which he wrote and directed and produced, is
great.
fantastic.
But I can't wait for him to subvert expectations and kill Daniel Craig in the first scene of the movie.
He better not do that, honestly. Like, I really want...
Hey, audience wouldn't expect it.
You know, I can't wait. I can't wait for the stellar cast, because if you think about it, the first movie was just surrounded by like Jamie Lee Curtis was in it, Michael Shannon was
Ana
in it,
de Armas, Chris Evans,
Christopher Plummer. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it's just Lakeith
Stanfield
was in it as well. There's so many good people in this. I just can't wait to see what stellar cast he brings to this one.
Me too. Birds of Prey Certified Fresh, we already talked about that. Doctor Strange 2, Sam Raimi, already talked about that.
Who's Bruce Campbell going to play?
Yeah.
If Bruce Campbell, if Sam Raimi gets this job, if anyone doesn't know Sam Raimi, which I'm sure you do because you're listening to this podcast,
totally,
from Spider-Man fame, he was the guy who brought Tobey Maguire to the screen as Spider-Man.
And Evil Dead, which is the Bruce Campbell connection.
He had Evil Dead, and you know his last directing gig was Oz the Great and Powerful. Is that what it's called, with Dave Franco?
Well, that was his last movie directing gig. He directed a few episodes of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
And he produced many movies since then. But he hasn't directed a movie in ages.
No.
I think this would be a great fit.
Me too.
God damn it, if Bruce Campbell's not in it, I want my money back.
Yeah, I want Bruce Campbell to play some random out there character.
It's supposed to be horror-esque.
Yeah, so Raimi's a good person for it.
And Scott Derrickson left over creative differences, and I have a feeling one part is because they probably promised him that this is going to be a horror movie because that's where he made his bread and butter at the start. And Sinister, I think that's what he directed.
Sinister, yeah.
And what was I going to say, Sam Raimi has got some serious horror chops, but Kevin Feige has said it's not a straight up horror because, like, you know, Disney and Marvel, they don't like to push it too far either. They're like, hey, we're going to make something different, but not that different.
We're going to push the envelope, but not too much.
We're going to slightly shove it.
Yeah, we're going to inch that envelope out a little bit. But
Sam Raimi.
Oh, man.
And we made the point last year.
Dead by Dawn.
We made the point last episode that Marvel like to have directors who they can kind of manipulate a little bit, push around. Sam Raimi's not that guy. He's the kind of guy who's like, hey, I'm going to make it this way.
Yeah.
So I think it's very interesting that they're looking at him.
Yeah, it's got to be interesting. Maybe it's just a slap in the face to
Scott Derrickson.
It's like, hey, you walk away from us, we're going to give it to him and we're going to let him do whatever he wants.
And Scott Derrickson has come out already saying, hey, I love that choice. I think he'd be brilliant for it.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad to hear that. I hate when people are just like, oh, screw that guy.
Yeah. Mission Impossible 7 has its working title, Libra. 7 and 8 are being filmed at the same time.
Oh boy, I can't wait for this.
Me neither.
Foaming at the mouth.
Me too. And Kittredge from Mission Impossible 1 is the character's name. He's coming back.
He's the guy in the famous restaurant scene where, isn't that the first Ethan Hunt sprinting scene we get?
Yeah, when he runs away from the water tank, which is apparently very dangerous.
He puts the gum, throws the gum onto the is it the water tank that he throws the gum onto?
Yeah.
And it explodes.
Yeah.
That guy's coming back.
Very dangerous scene apparently.
Yeah?
Yeah, to shoot. Because he actually did it and they could only do it once.
Excellent.
Yeah. But anyway, Matrix 4 set videos show Keanu Reeves in like a hat, hobo.
Looking kind of like a disheveled John Wick.
Yeah, they didn't make him shave his beard, which, I don't know, is interesting, I guess.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe without the beard he looks his age.
Yeah.
Like,
I somehow doubt that. I bet he looks great.
I know. Oh, but he didn't have the beard for Bill and Ted 3, though.
Yeah, and he looked fucking amazing. Yeah.
I probably grew that beard like really fast.
I imagine he can just, he's such a manly man.
He's so manly.
Turn it on.
He's such a nice guy as well. He could just talk it into like, okay, I'm going to go faster.
Hey, do you want to grow a beard on my face now?
Okay.
G.I. Joe spin-off Snake Eyes is like filming and has set photos and all.
Does anyone care?
Me, I don't care.
I hope it's good, and if there's a cool trailer, I'm like, okay, I'll watch that. But
meh.
I don't care. Like, does anyone want that?
Not really. Mad Max 5 rumors. Apparently, they're being kicked around.
Give me
some more.
Wasteland, isn't that what they were saying it was going to be called?
Yeah,
George Miller.
George Miller.
Give me. Well, I want it now. Give me it now.
Give me it now. I want Tom Hardy back.
I want Charlize Theron back. I don't care if they fought on set. Give me it again.
Furiosa.
Fuck already, guys.
Man, do you remember all the articles that came out after that movie and they were like Mad Max Feminist Road and everything? Yeah.
Yeah.
Such bullshit.
I know. She's excellent in it, though.
She's outstanding in the movie.
Oh my god, I don't want to brawl with her.
Yeah. And Mad Max, for one, every single Mad Max movie, except the first one, has always been... Max is just someone who's walked his way into a story.
I know,
you know?
I know, yeah.
That's the whole thing with him. He's not trying to be a part of it. He just is.
Yeah, he doesn't light the fuse.
No.
He's just thrown the dynamite's already lit.
Yeah, and you
he's
have
like,
to deal with it.
I don't. What?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to walk here, man. What are we doing?
Exactly. That's what
Just lost my family.
And that's the appeal of the...
I just stood on a scorpion. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. That's the appeal of the movie, though. Like...
Yeah, I know.
And
you're kind of racing as well to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, you're kind of not following it. You're in
Max doesn't know what's going on either. He's
Yeah.
just like, what did I just walk
It's
myself
great.
into?
It's great. That's why I love those movies.
Very unlucky fellow.
He is an unlucky fellow, but he's lucky at the same time because he just keeps on living. Can't be killed.
Yeah, I know, yeah. True.
No Time to Die is the most expensive Super Bowl trailer this year. The teaser cost apparently the most money of all of them. So
Wow.
yeah, and it has me worried.
It has me worried
It
too.
says 25th is going to change the franchise forever.
Forever.
Yeah, we're worried.
We're getting a female 007 and not another James Bond movie. That's what I fear.
Yeah, that's what I fear too. Yeah.
It scares me. I just
Yeah.
have a feeling the
scary-
next Bond is not going to be a James Bond.
Scary
It's going to
thought.
be that lady that's in it, and
Yeah.
she's going to be 007, and that's it. It's going to be a 007 TV film series.
Nothing against her specifically.
Not at all.
Nothing. I'm sure she's great in the movie. She seems pretty good from the trailers.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that movie though.
No,
Yeah.
leave Bond alone.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Give us a break.
Yeah.
Then cast Richard Madden or someone super cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And just give us more Bond.
Yeah. And lastly, sad news: Kirk Douglas dead at 103. Film
103.
royalty. Film royalty. Kirk Douglas.
The original Spartacus.
Original Spartacus.
And original as well.
Yeah. Patton. Another famous movie he did.
His son is 75 years of age.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas is 75.
And his dad was alive till 103.
103. What a man.
Crazy. For a guy to live that lifestyle and live to 103.
It's old school Hollywood.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Talk about the greatest generation.
There's so many things that could kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling he's royalty. He
is
really is.
royalty.
The golden age.
It's a sad time, but, you know, he's lived a long, full
A
life.
long, full life
obviously.
indeed, yeah.
But yeah, sad to see you go, Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
And then last we'll do Hunk and Skunk. We want to give Hunk this week to...
Well, we have to actually explain Hunk first.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit of news.
Yeah, it is a bit of news.
Kind of a giveaway, though, at the same
fuck,
time.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay,
we'll
Skunk goes to
Skunk goes to Vin Diesel.
Vinny D.
Vinny D, because Vinny D came out and he has invented a new franchise of film.
But he came up with a great idea that's never been done before.
Never been done before. Yeah. In a statement, Vin Diesel said that he has come up with the idea of a female-led Fast and Furious movie.
Wait, they're going to do a movie, but a female version of it.
Yeah. No, he created that idea. Duh.
I have his statement here because it's so fantastic. Where is it? It's just... It's so Vinny D. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't be any more.
Couldn't be any more Vinny D.
Oh my god, hold on. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'll get it.
We got it. And we're going to give Hunk to Adam Sandler for his performance in Uncut Gems because he fucking destroyed it in that movie. And despite looking terrible, he's the Hunk of the Week.
He deserves it. He
does.
fully deserves it, and I can't find that statement. Forget it. He pretty much says, I created a female Fast and Furious.
He's like, script's coming to my desk on Monday.
I'm waiting for the script. But he says, I created it. You're
I
like,
created it. It's like, oh yeah.
lad,
Yeah.
relax.
Take it easy, Vin.
Relax.
Yeah. Even in a female-led movie, it's all about Vin Diesel.
It's all about Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
He has to be in it in some way.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Letty's going to have, like, a Dom poster or some shit. Like, oh, look, there's Mr. January there.
She's going to call Dom at one stage. There's going to be a 10-minute scene
I
of
need
Dom.
you.
Yeah.
I need you badly.
Or Dom just, like, looking after the baby. It's like 10 minutes of him just watching the kid.
I'd love if it would be, like, it's like an old James Bond movie. It's so misogynist. It's so full of misogyny where they're like, oh, us girls got it in way too deep, Dom.
Yeah.
We need you and your muscles to help us. And he's like, I'll be there.
I'll be there. And then they, like, stumble their way and solve it in the end.
I'm busy not living my life at a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah.
Let me put the baby down and start living my life at a quarter mile at a time again.
I said to you earlier, Fast and Furious has CW style writing with Marvel style budget.
I know. Like, hey, here's all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Make a massive movie. And the
Yeah.
guy's like, I don't know how to write
I don't
movies,
know.
man.
Fucking. Okay, what's all the tropes? We're gonna do them all.
Yeah. Let me ask what Vinny D wants again. How good you want? You want to take a car to the face?
Okay.
Okay, well, you can take a car to the
you
face.
can do that.
You
I mean,
take a car to
the car will lose. You know that.
You want to fight 20 guys? 20 guys. Can they overpower you? Momentarily?
Momentarily.
Okay,
Gotcha.
thank you.
Thank you, Dom.
You want to beat the shit out of like the biggest guy in Hollywood right now?
Yeah.
I mean, physically the biggest guy.
Yeah.
John Cena,
Yeah.
Mr. Steroid himself.
Mr. Steroids.
You can beat. The shit
Okay,
out
sure.
Of him.
Yeah, you can fight him. That seems like a fair match.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
He just comes in with those lists of things that he wants.
Demands.
Okay, Vinny.
Yeah. Anyway, Vin, I don't know how many times he's won
And
Skunk
Riddick.
now.
Riddick 4 is at the bottom
Riddick
of it.
4 written at the bottom, and that's the one they cross out. They're like, oh, we're not going that far.
That
Vin.
can wait.
Yeah. Vinny D wins Skunk again.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Vinny. You deserve it every time. And thank you very much for listening to this very long podcast.
But hey, very fun.
Very fun.
I enjoyed it.
Me
The
too.
Bond Talk especially.
Bond Talk is always good.
Check these out. So what are we going to watch next week? We're going to dive... What will we do, 2 or 3, Roger Moore? How do you feel? Maybe 2, because we just did 3.
Yeah, we just did 3, so we'll do 2. Take it easy this time. And they're 2 good ones as well. So
It's Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die and The Man with the Golden Gun.
Perfect.
So those are going to be 2 very good
We're
ones.
going to dip our toe into the Roger Moore era.
Just going to dip the toe.
Just a little dip.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for dipping your toe in this podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I hope you have a good week. We will talk to you next week.
Hopefully we'll have a review for Birds of Prey.
Hopefully, and we'll have Bond reviews for sure.
Of
and
course.
then hopefully there'll be some good, interesting news that we can give to you.
Yeah.
And
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
See you next time.